Hi, my name is Hannah Borden, and I'll be presenting a film analysis on Kodak Eastman, which is an imaging and photography firm. So a little company background, Kodak was founded in 1888 by George Eastman, and like I said, it's an imaging and photography company. They focus on selling cameras, camera accessories, imaging and printing services, but primarily for the purpose of this presentation, we're going to focus on the camera industry specifically, and that's because that's what led to Kodak's bankruptcy. They filed for bankruptcy in 2012 after the switch from film photography to digital, which really was a pivotal moment in their business's downfall. But Kodak is known for their role in film photography. So they invented roll film, which was one of the main components of film cameras in the 20th century. And they actually invented this camera on the screen here, the Kodak Brownie, which was one of the first consumer-friendly cameras available on the market. It was a film camera, and it really emphasized self-expression, and it really pushed the emotional value of photography onto consumers. Yeah, so just a little industry background. The company is in a maturity stage headed towards a decline. That's because there is a lot of competitors in this industry. And again, we're focusing on the camera industry specifically, and I'll get into the major competitors in a little bit. But with that, there's a lack of innovation. The market's very saturated. A lot of companies are producing the same products, and consumers just have a lot at their disposal. We have smartphones. People are taking images with smartphones now. There's increased digital processing. We have the presence of the internet, and all of these factors play into how the industry is evolving and how customers demand certain products. So the first internal challenge is going to be insufficient marketing and poor reaction to change. So again, this all stems from the shift from film to digital. And actually, one of Kodak's engineers, Steve Sasson, who's on this slide, he actually invented the first digital camera, which he's holding, and it looks a lot different from the digital cameras we know today. But he invented it, he brought it to his management team, and they said, hey, this is great, but we're going to ignore it. This was during their peak of film photography and producing film cameras, so they ignored it. They continued to push their film cameras onto the public, and by that time, other companies had taken control of the digital photography marketplace. And fast forward to 2012, the company was basically forced to file for bankruptcy, and they've since tried to go into other markets, but nothing has seen the same success as they saw in the photography marketplace. So some courses of action. So from the previous slide, it's obvious that Kodak, they didn't focus on selling value to customers. They really focused on just pushing products onto customers instead of adapting to that innovation and using the marketing tactic. We all know the basis of marketing is providing value to customers, which they did not do, which ultimately led to their failure. So the most important course of action that I'll be explaining in basically every single solution I offer is market research and development, pushing resources towards figuring out what are consumers' preferences, what are the industry trends, what is the emerging technology that's going to change the market landscape. And with that, what strategies can we implement, including social media, digital marketing, investing in tech companies, figuring out what are the best strategies to reach the modern consumer, which is primarily younger generations who use social media platforms. And then also just investing in talent and training, hiring people with expertise in technology and digital marketing and social media. And it may be worth looking into to hire younger professionals who know how to appeal to those younger generations and can really make an impact on the digital marketing landscape of Kodak in the future. So the next internal challenge is going to be a lack of a virtual selling platform and corporate partnerships, which I put these two together because I really felt like they both tied into brand visibility. So Kodak, they do have their own website, Kodak.com. You can find it, but on that website, there's no way to make online transactions for their products, which is very strange to me. Today in our market, online retailing is one of the most popular forms, and almost half of consumers say that they prefer it to traditional retailing. Whereas Kodak, when they were in their peak, there was no such thing as online shopping. There was no such thing as Amazon. So they just really need to change their mindset, change their marketing strategies, create that digital platform, for customers to be able to buy their products. And then with partnerships, so Kodak used to have a partnership with Disney and Walt Disneyland, Walt Disney World, where they would have Kodak picture spots all around the parks, and it would really increase their brand visibility and really create that emotional connection between photography and memories, especially in the most magical place on earth, which is Disney World. But that partnership was ended soon after Kodak's bankruptcy. So courses of action for this second internal problem. Again, allocating resources towards research and development, investing in technology, and investing resources into integrating this online platform to be able to make online transactions, incorporating features and different technologies so that customers can explore the different features of Kodak's cameras and Kodak's accessories. And without this platform, customers can't see exactly what they're buying. They can't compare prices, they can't compare features, and it's just really important to integrate all of that into a website, as well as collaborating with tech companies, again, to understand what features they need to incorporate into these websites to appeal to customers effectively. Digital marketing, again, targeted advertising, social media, digital marketing. We have to let younger consumers know that this is available, and social media is the easiest way to do that. And customer engagement. An online selling platform is probably the easiest way to get customer feedback, build relationships with customers. And this could include webinars, virtual events, online forums, all of these things that are relatively inexpensive that we can incorporate in order to figure out what customers prefer. So the first external challenge, now these are outside of the industry, they're uncontrollables for Kodak, but they're extremely important in the marketing landscape for the company. So rapid technological change and lack of innovation. So this primarily stems, again, from the shift from film to digital. The camera industry has changed so much over the past century. We used to have film cameras, now we have digital cameras, now we have internet and smartphones that can take photos. And actually the majority of people that have ever taken a photo have only taken them on phones. So consumer demand has really shifted. Companies are copying each other. There's not a lot of variation in products, and consumers really demand a lot from these companies because innovation is so lacking right now. So a course of action for this issue. So research and development. Again, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Research and development in order to find the best technological innovations in order to reduce costs, improve image quality, improve the customer experience, and find the best solution to beating these competitors. And if Kodak can't find the technology and the innovation to beat their competitors, then they need to do it in another way. Create sustainable packaging, sustainable camera parts, streamline the supply chain, digitalize the supply chain, cut back costs, and improve efficiency so that we can create better products and we can afford to make these innovative products. And lastly, value-added services. And this can include a number of things like cloud storage, printing services, imaging services, anything that can add value to their physical products and their physical cameras that aren't exactly a physical product. So this could mean bundling these services with the purchase of a product. Say, hey, if you buy a camera, you can have a year free of our photo editing software that we just created. And it's relatively inexpensive. It requires a lot of research and development, but it adds value to these physical products. And the last external challenge is going to be the power of competitors and high buyer power. Again, this is all kind of, they're all kind of incorporated and they're all similar, but they all play a role in how Kodak can re-enter itself into the camera market. So the market is extremely saturated, right? We've got Sony, Canon, Nikon, a number of other competitors, and they're all creating the same type of products, but they're all dominating in this market. So it's really difficult for someone like Kodak to re-enter. And then we've also got the presence of smartphones, and Sony, the leader in digital sensors in this market, even creates the digital sensors and processors that go in Apple's iPhones. They're finding ways to innovate. They're finding ways to go in alternate markets in the smartphone industry. It seems like it would be a threat, but Sony's finding a way to make it work for them and stay profitable. And then these companies also have their own selling platforms, which Kodak does not. And I think it's really important to understand that they do have those selling platforms online, which makes it easier for them to reach customers in that way. Okay, so courses of action. Differentiation, again, finding unique features, functions, and values that can set our products apart. Despite this high buyer power and this market saturation, how can we differentiate ourselves? Can we differentiate ourselves through brand loyalty, customer experience? That's how we did it in the 20th century. Can we do it again? You know, they need to go back to those marketing tactics that they had early on to attach customers to the emotional value of cameras. And if they can't do that, can they do it with their competitive pricing? Can we price our products differently and make them affordable to all customers, you know, attract those price-sensitive customers? And again, just researching on market trends, on how competitors are doing in the market. What trends are changing and how can we take advantage of them? Okay, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.